What's going on, everybody? This is Mike, RetroGameFix.com. I just went out and picked up a 8BitDo SNES game controller, Bluetooth wireless, because I wanted something to play retro games with on my Raspberry Pi with RetroPi installed. And at first I balked a little bit at the $35 price point. But getting this thing, this box feels super premium. There's some weight to it, and I'd compare it to really kind of some packaging you would get with a premium phone. So let's do a quick unboxing of this, and then I will fire it up and come back with some initial impressions about how this thing performs. Like I said, feels super premium, and it really is kind of packaged like a cell phone. So let's slide this out. Very nice. Again, you can see I pulled the sticker off that said the $34.99, but and I opted for the US version. They did have a Famicom one, but since I always gamed on the US version for the sake of nostalgia, that's the way I wanted to roll. So open it up. Again, very nice box, little logo there, and here it is. And that looks really, really nice. Feels really good. Here, let me so in comparison, here's my wired Super Nintendo. And here is the Bluetooth. And they are pretty close, all things considered. So there's a comparison of the two. You know, one's slightly thicker than the other, but I mean, even the buttons on the back are molded the same, so that's actually very nice. So let's put that here. Get a nice foam to hold it in place. Take a look at what else we have in the package. So we've got a cool booklet printed on, looks like some recyclable paper, or maybe that's done with the retro effect. Shows you how to sync and some other stuff. Super cool. Looks like we have our USB cable. Again, a nice flat USB cable. Those are always actually really nice. Again, very premium feeling. And let's see how long this is. So it looks like we've got about a 4-foot, 3 or 4 foot USB cable. And let's see what we got here. Huh, neat. And a little 30th anniversary keychain that also came with it. There we go. Really cool. So overall impressions, really impressed with it. So I'm gonna get this thing hooked up and go from there. What's going on, everybody? It's Mike and I'm back. It's now been a few days since I bought the 8BitDo SNES controller, and I've got some feedback on it. I gotta be honest, this controller is awesome. I couldn't ask for more from what can be wired in through USB and a Bluetooth controller. Now there are a couple caveats, and I found out it wasn't related to the controller at all. When I would wire it in, games played perfect and there was no lag, or at least no lag in comparison to emulators. Emulators sometimes, again, through LCDs, regardless of how great your LCD is, are going to have a little bit of lag. But when I would Bluetooth it, there was a significant amount of lag. And at first I thought it was the gamepad. So I plugged in or I Bluetoothed my PS4 controller to it, same amount of lag. So of course it was not the controller, it was either the Raspberry Pi, some of the power settings, whatever. So I did find on Google that there are a couple settings that you can make in the RetroPi as far as hard sync and some frame delay stuff that allows this thing to get down to the same input response as wired over the Bluetooth. And with that, once I figured that out, zero complaints. I've had it hooked up to my TV where I sit about 10 feet away. Works perfect, syncs perfect. You plug your Raspberry Pi in or however you boot yours up. Hold the start button on here. It'll flash a couple times, it'll sync, and then the Raspberry Pi will find it, and then you're good to go. So, it's weird because I'd like to put a score on it, but scoring hardware like a gamepad is a little tough for me because there's not caveats and a lot of different things to review on. But if you are looking for a Bluetooth gamepad or retro style for your Raspberry Pi, I would highly recommend the Super Nintendo gamepad by 8BitDo. Now that said, it is $35, so it's not as cheap as some others, but this thing is dead on as far as weight and dimensions and just feel and overall button presses. I mean, it's well worth the $35. That said, I was hoping that they would have a NES controller that was true to the build, the same as the SNES controller, and the NES controller has the 4 button faces. Looking for the same feel as the NES, I was hoping I'd be able to pick up an NES controller with the 2 buttons in the same place. They don't have that, so I'll keep digging for something similar to that. But for the Super Nintendo gamepad, in my opinion, it's a must-have, easily worth the $35. I got mine at Micro Center, and there's a $5 off coupon at the time, so that knocked a little bit off of it. Otherwise, I think the prices are in between $30 and $35 on Amazon. So, see ya!